All right. What up, everyone? We are back in Washington State in downtown Seattle for round 7 of the North American Collins Word Game Scrabble Championship. My name is Conrad, as many of you might know, and I am joined by Sam Rosen. If you haven't been here, Sam, tell everyone where you are calling in from that is not Washington State.
I'm here from Washington, District of Columbia,
Oh,
not
okay.
state. So, yeah, but excited to be here for round 7 to watch Peter Armstrong and Kevin Fraley face off.
Ought to be a fun one. These two have played a number of times, having both lived in the Bay Area for a while, and they both have very they play very slowly, like as far as time goes. I've certainly put both of them over on time before, but they both play quite offensively. Pete loves to take risks and go for high volatility plays, and for his part, Kevin is trends in that direction as well. So they both know a lot of words. This has the potential, if it's even as far as the tiles go, this could be a really fun game. So I'm looking forward to it, but hoping that maybe it takes a little faster or it goes a little faster than 50 minutes.
So you're telling me to expect, if it's a close game, you're telling me to expect just like a squabble wherever they're
like 490 to 480. Like it ain't gonna be 360 to 350.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So it should be a fun one. It looks like Pete is going to be starting here. And it's interesting for Kevin. So Kevin's a player who draws one tile at a time. So if he draws tiles his normal way when he's playing under WESPA or the World English Scrabble Players Association rules, he actually loses a fair amount of time while he puts his hand back in the bag and draws 6 more tiles one by one.
I have seen that, and that was I think I was watching a mask game or something.
Yeah.
And that's definitely, that is a bit of a time loss.
Yeah.
So non-negligible. You're losing 4% or whatever of your time on that. But anyway, Pete's going to bingo, obviously. And probably just trying to make the blank one of the letters that's already on his rack or something, which I don't see if there's a way to do.
I see one way to do that, but it puts an A in an unideal spot.
Oh, the A. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, chat. How many of the 13 valid bingos can you find here? Pete's certainly going to think about it for a bit. You kind of want to, when you're gifted such a nice rack, you don't want to waste it. You want to find the best play. And ideally here, you're kind of trying to avoid putting vowels next to the double letter squares, perhaps, but making sure you double that D to get.
Oh yeah, that's
72 points.
So there might not be a good way to do all of those things.
Untread is the thing that comes to mind. But I think an A is A the worst letter to put in the double-double? I know that Matt Canick had done this calculation for quite a while for a big set of games. Now, of course, as we're seeing what Kevin has here, it actually might have a material difference what Pete decides to play here. Looks like he's found disobey.
Yeah, that's a good find. I saw his rack brief. I haven't studied that.
Well, yeah, he did have it spelled out. I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know this. I cheated, but there is something in disobey plus D. I won't say it, but in fact, and Kevin does know most of the bingos. He's found some crazy low probability stuff.
Oh, he's playing the first word you suggested, orated. It took a while, like just as you predicted, just as you mentioned about their sort of slower pace. He, took sort of a decent amount of time with a rack that has lots of bingos available.
Right.
And Disobey will still play that,
It will, but it's not the best play.
Is it side body?
It's body side.
Body side. Okay. Well,
yeah.
There's one or the other.
I think. I mean, if all things held equal, I think I would rather take the 80 points with body side. Disobey would open the Y kind of in space there. Or is it which one scores more? Putting the D in space also sucks. There's multiple ways to play Disobey at this moment.
Oh yeah. The 4 overlap version on the right side of orated.
Yeah, that one probably is the one that scores 80. So. Yeah, who in chat knew body side? I'll be honest, I didn't know it. How's your studying going these days, Sam? Are you pretty keeping up to date on your words?
Well, I took a few years off, so I'm getting back. Oh, it's on body side. Well done, Kevin.
Nice.
You might earn a challenge. Well, it's possible.
It's entirely possible you get the 5 points there.
Yeah. But I've started studying again, so I'm enjoying going through, starting to go through the bingos using Ziziva and start to build up a card box from scratch. So it's kind of fun studying again, but I'm definitely rusty. So it's fun getting back into the game. And they're going to the computer, so this will be the second straight game that we've seen a valid bingo challenged for a nickel.
And to be honest, I probably would have given him. I mean, I'd see Disobey, but I'd probably give the 5 points. Kind of feel like you've earned it.
And if he'd played the lower scoring Disobey, he would have given up feelings back, but now Peter does not have. I mean, he could have played the higher scoring Disobey, I guess, but
or body side in the other spot gives feelings.
Oh my god, that's rather. That's rather fortunate, I guess, that he chose this spot. I mean, I'm not seeing a ton of. I guess the other spot gives a big I spot for like a QI bomb or an XI bomb.
Yeah, but I mean, that lane underneath the E is kind of a pain longer term. Amazingly, though, Pete has no bingo with what looks like an otherwise very good rack. What are you thinking here?
Well, I'm already quackling, yeah. So I like the top, well, just the top speedy suggestion of hen seems like a decent play. It does with Nye does give some underlaps, but that seems reasonable. What are you thinking?
Yeah, hen seems pretty straightforward to me. I wouldn't spend too much time thinking about it. I think I know pretty quickly. I'm still at this point where I'd be pretty certain there's no bingos here. I wouldn't have to look for too long. Pete looks like he may be spending a couple minutes trying to think about that. This is a reasonable spot to spend a bunch of time if you don't necessarily feel as confident in your word finding knowledge.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you've got half the letters.
Yeah.
half the letters there. Great. So
and it's the frustration, right? It's just like there has to be something here. Then you feel, you're on stream and you're like, oh my god, am I missing something stupid? Like, that can compound, honestly. Like, but I think in the end, he'll play hen. I think I just can't imagine him doing anything else, right?
Yeah, I don't think he's playing henlets, so it does seem like
that would be funny. Would be funny.
Kevin will, I guess, just try to play Moai, which he's setting up. He can play it parallel to the URAT and orated, or maybe he can fit it under body side, but though Pete's play might get in the way.
Let's say he could put it above it right now. Yeah, and underneath as well, as both score a bunch of points, but most likely those are going away in a sec, I have to imagine. Pete is known to make a lot of shorter fishing plays, keeping slightly higher volatility leaves. So you could see him playing like off 2 letters, keeping EL and ST, but it's just there's nothing else really compares to Hen here, and he has in fact played it. Not particularly surprised. And I think Pete can probably, his word knowledge is at the point where he can be pretty confident that he has not missed the bingo here. To your point, it's seeming like Moai must be a good play on that left side of Areta. Do you see anything else?
No, and Cockle isn't suggesting much. There's, but I want to get rid of that extra vowel. So we were talking about last game, and he's got it set up, so he's considering both. You've got the A hook and the E hook, but then again, your opponent probably does too.
Right. And the O hook.
Well, Pete's rewarded with his strong play. After his strong play, he's rewarded with drawing into Vestals,
which would still play after Moai.
And he might. Well, it'll be interesting if he tries to hook body side since he didn't know it.
Right.
It's sort of unclear if that's an adjective or a noun. I wouldn't. Would you know that it's a noun, like based on what it?
Well, I wouldn't have known what it meant. I would have said, I would have thought it could be an adjective, but
yeah.
It's just the board is so nice after Vestals and body sides. I might risk it. I don't know. Regardless.
And what else is there to play?
AL and moves. Yeah, it's not great. Well, he's going to have the opportunity here to play Vestals. The question is, which one is he going to play? How about you? What would you do here? Which Vestals would you take, knowing that you can probably have all the Vestals blocked next turn?
Yeah, so I might play it safe. I don't know. I'd have to think about this word body side. I mean, it really does look like it could be an adjective.
Yeah.
I mean, and having not seen that word at all, I'd be loath to play there, and like you said, if it's challenged off, Kevin's certainly going to block the spot that you would have had. So
yeah,
probably sacrifice a good 20 points or whatever just to play it safe, which is kind of like it's like not fun. But
yeah. Well, it's kind of cool because I feel pretty confident that I would play it with body sides, not because I have any idea if body sides is good, but the board is just so much better.
Yeah, you take that bingo lead with this. This is a lovely board
yeah.
I agree with. Maybe it's worth take a chance.
Yep. Well, it appears a hold has happened. I'm not surprised, to be honest. I don't know how many folks here knew for sure that body size was good.
Vestal, is that like a religious term? Like a common word?
I think so.
It's probably holding, body sides.
Wow, it's the definition of Vestal is it's good. It's it's Latin. It is. I figured it was pertaining to Vesta, but one of the Roman patrician virgins consecrated to Vesta, goddess of the hearth.
Okay, just bring me back to AP Latin. Maybe I should have known
Exactly
that.
right. Yeah.
Looks like we have a challenge.
But did you know that it was a Roman patrician virgin that was consecrated?
No, not at all.
We'll see exactly. Yeah. Who knew that? I don't know.
I'd have to assume he challenged. I'm guessing he challenged body sides.
Well, regardless, I mean, I'm assuming that it wasn't a 10-point swing. I'm assuming it was probably a 5-point swing. That's what I'm going to do in my the scorekeeping here. But please feel free to correct me if anyone can figure out that I'm wrong, which I've been known to be wrong. Nice thing here, coming back to the game, since Kevin has only lost 5 points, not a turn, is he still got that spot on the left side that he set himself up for, as it turns out. He didn't know he was going to get it, but now he gets to score pretty well while keeping a good leave. He'll give, plenty of stuff back, but something like Gaeta.
I did sort of underrate that. I think I like Moai for using that extra vowel, but yeah, like you're saying, he kept an A, he kept 2 A's and he kept an E. So he was almost definitely going to draw something that would, like he has, allow him to score well if Pete left that spot open, which he did.
Yep.
Pete's looking for someone to tuck me in almost.
Yeah. Well, he might be able to maybe tuck a play in there next turn. I'm not sure. I haven't found the perfect play yet, but something with Ook maybe, or Ume is now good. Something that kind of keeps the board in ridiculous shape.
Yeah, Uke or Act. But no, he's not going to play there because Kevin is playing Sagier and opening up sort of to that aggression that you were talking about, or that willingness to play on an open board. He wants to open up a whole nother side, and he's not going to hook home. He's going to leave that spot unaddressed.
Surprising. I know he likes to have an open board, but when he is losing, he's still going to be down 40 something after only scoring 27 instead of, I don't know, almost 40. I have to imagine.
Yeah, you're sacrificing a lot of points for that. That sort of spatial thought, and Pete could hit it pretty well himself, and in fact,
exactly,
you think he might play there just because it's such a big spot. Well, but Kevin's drawn nitrate.
Oh well, that works. Nitrate always works. I mean, does he have anything really all that? I mean, he obviously can score 40 pretty easily, but giving some big spots back.
He could just play like Ket or something. But I guess that gives the row 15 plays that maybe you're referring to. Oh, I didn't see Infinity. Oh snap, Cesar, it's me. Hey, and Infinity Words is suggesting medic.
But bomb is not a word.
Bomb, that is true. Maybe I didn't see it. You have Bach. The Bach is like
Bach is good.
A deer, right, or some sort of animal.
An antelope.
Antelope. Okay. And Benji's here too.
Oh, it's Bunwito. Hello, Bunwito. How are you? Infinity Words. How are you doing, Infinity Words? What are you thinking, chat? What would you play in this case? Pete's gonna spend some time thinking about it. Any universe where you don't play on row 14? I don't know.
Even if it's set, I think it's just a lot of points to, I like scoring. My bias is usually to taking especially when you're winning, you want to just extend that lead, pad that lead. So
yeah.
Unless Chad has a better suggestion. Time suck.
I did see time suck. Yeah.
Really apropos.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. This game is moving at about the speed I expected. Well, if Pete plays Ook, he can set himself up for OUM, as we talked about last game.
I mean, that spot. He's getting rid of that K that played nicely with Bach, and he's playing Kuti. Interesting. No one wants to play on row 14.
No one wants it. That's a.
Oh, poor Pete. He's got 3 eyes.
I can hear Pete complaining from here about this, which is fair. This would be that's a hell of a draw. But just the same, if he had played UKE and drew I, he'd even still be able to play like Iridic or something, and make it through the cruddy tiles. Instead, Kevin's got itinerants coming down.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't see
ton of points.
I missed that UKE OU.
Oh yeah.
That's a nice play. And I guess it probably would it have given Tertian back for like a zillion?
Yes, it would have.
So
You're
it just
correct.
so happened we would have had a
not a zillion, you're right.
Like 100. No, I mean it's anyway.
Yeah.
But he would have anyway. Maybe that's why he left. I don't know. Maybe he knew it was coming.
And Pete knew he was gonna draw all 4 eyes, so he kept it. Or sorry, draw 3 eyes, so he kept his eye. That's just such an unfortunate draw, for many reasons.
Yeah,
but not the least of which he can't address any of the openings that have been made. I mean, I see he could play Emic, keep 3 eyes.
Trading does seem like it's warranted in this instance. And at least from his perspective, Kevin, the scoring is a bit of a scoring lull because Kevin's not going to have much with his 7 1-pointers and some duplicates.
Yeah, also a strange draw. What do we see? Much of anything for Kevin here?
I don't know. Benji Scrabble in the chat is pointing out Kumite, Kumite, would have
Kumite.
Kumite. Oh, he said Japanese word.
Yeah, it's a Japanese word that for some reason takes an S.
Well, that's Scrabble, but this one's is but I was typing it in. I saw it was Japanese, but I never heard of that word. But Benji Scrabble points it out, and it does seem like an improvement on Kuti. Just score more points. I mean, yeah, you just score several more points, so it seems like a good play to me.
Yeah. Well, now that I've cheated, the best play here is beautiful.
ERE is what?
Oh, the best play for Kevin here?
It's not ERE.
Well, keep going.
You can make ER. I'm running out here.
You can do A-R-E-R-E and then take out both spots.
Oh, I forgot Bota was a word.
Yeah, that's TWL, I think.
I'd believe it.
Well, unsurprisingly, Kevin is going to spend a little while thinking about this play.
If he knows the word, it sort of looks like he's almost got it lined up there. I mean,
Yeah,
he
looks,
does.
yeah.
With the space. A rear is, I think it's, it means the same thing as A-R-E-A-R, I think, which is something to do with the rear, or I mean, not like that. Okay, that came out. That wasn't. I didn't say that correctly.
Get your head out of your
rearward towards the back.
Yeah, rearward towards the back.
Oh, very nice. He spotted it. The best play. Excellent. Or at least according to your quackling.
Yes.
Then,
yeah, it's a good play, in my opinion. Also, like, Kevin isn't usually ahead of his opponents on time, so he's probably relishing the opportunity to calmly consider his options,
Yeah, in a tight game like this, every minute, it can make a difference.
Yeah.
And he's got, maybe he can draw something to the ut with the Oka, and he's really cleared out that rack pretty well.
Not a lot of great options for Pete even now, it seems. Like, he's pretty set on playing Fumed, which is a reasonable play. It keeps the good leave, opens a new area of the board, perhaps a little more fruitful than just hitting Ska or something. Surprised he played it as fast as he did.
Yeah, that one was one where I'd want to have saved the time from my first play, maybe, and just to think about that one, because the S is valuable. It's the last S, but you're only scoring 15, and it's not the best leave.
Yeah.
I don't have any thumbs. So you could play thumbs for score more. I don't have any great alternatives immediately. It's just a bit odd looking to my eyes.
I think it seemed okay, but I was just surprised how quickly he did it.
Yeah, you pointed out some strengths of the play. So
yeah. Well, now Kevin's over here with QZ. Ugh. I mean, I guess he is leading, so there's something nice to be said about just dumping QN.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. Very attractive, honestly, and not ideal, but the leave really is it's a pretty good leave.
Yeah. Probably not quite enough to keep the N for like Calzone or something.
Oh, but wherever that that would play. But yeah, I agree with your thought. I'd want to just draw a scoring play with the Z, like maybe draw an R for 0 and Oka or something.
Yeah. Does suck that now you're keeping that R pretty uncovered, which is at least for something like my style, not my favorite, but getting rid of the Q for 23, keeping a good leave is perfectly reasonable. We do say sunk as an option here, CINQ. Interesting.
mean, he could just play this next turn, maybe.
Yeah.
He was closing the board.
Yeah, trying to play a closed board here, which is certainly an option. This can work out well if you don't immediately get hit on the right side, which I don't think is going to particularly happen. But it does open a big spot next to it. So I don't know. That's an odd play from my perspective. I would expect something like DEY to come down, PED.
You could have played Cozen, which is kind of like maybe a bit of a better version of the same thing. You do give your N away, but now you've really locked down that part of the board.
Yeah.
You can't get hit with an X bomb anymore. So you could still get hit with YA or whatever, but it just is trying to fit that same idea.
Yeah, it's probably not the path I would have taken. I kind of like getting rid of your Q and then making a play like close or cousin next turn, because the board is just so wrecked.
Would have been nice to have that close and draw an H into that, or H blank, or B,
Yeah.
Then you could have really put things together, but this will be a bit tougher to dig out of.
Yeah, I mean, especially, we know that Pete's probably going to play next to close, so what appears to be most of Kevin's best spots ain't going to stay open. He may just end up playing QN anyway, but now he's stuck with BHWX blank like Colton a couple games ago, and he's gonna have to start closing the board more. I mean, he's by playing close, all joking aside, he's committed to like taking a closed approach to the game. So if he all of a sudden goes and opens the board next turn, it makes something like close kind of a wasted play, because you're completely, changing the line you're taking when you don't necessarily need to. So I don't know. Looks like Pete, in fact, is playing DEYS. He's going to take the extra points, not seeing as much value in his S. What do you think about adding the S there? It's nice to get a few more points, but last S?
Last S. That I kind of, I mean, it's 8 points, and you have all consonants, so I think it's reasonable to try to balance your rack a bit more by getting rid of it. It seems like maybe it's a close play, like between holding it or playing it.
Mm-hmm. Well, look at this. Pete has drawn bingos in multiple spots. One will get blocked, but it looks like Canopied is going to remain open, as Kevin does play QIN quite quickly this time. And I would assume that Pete will find Canopied pretty quickly.
So this might be an exciting finish as we get towards the second half of the game, because Pete will bingo. I think maybe that'll set up like a little bit of an X bomb for Kevin, and Kevin's got the blank, but those clunky tiles. So yeah, I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, this could be a fun one, and they have enough time to still play pretty comfortably, but any more long tanking plays, and someone's going to be low on time. Well, in fact, Canopied has come down, as we see, giving Pete the lead, at least for the moment.
I don't see anywhere for whip. It would be nice to get rid of multiple of these consonants. I guess instead of XI, you could just play like Wex.
But the B and the P are so painful. Like, I feel like even Ibex would be better than
I didn't
something, but
I didn't see that.
But XI is good because it gives nothing back.
Mm-hmm. And you keep that WH for some synergy for next turn.
Yeah, get any vowel and you're pretty happy. Quio is probably a little too crazy, but that could show up in the future on a different turn. Hadn't realized that Benji Scrabble had in fact already suggested Wio, but I could see that being a play down the road because there are still some eyes unseen.
I don't mind even playing that right away. Just to, I mean, I guess BPX is pretty.
It's that BP. Unless you're keeping WH, I just don't want that BP. Yeah, Wybex, there you go. Oh yeah, I suggested Ibex, not really realizing that the V was still unseen.
And Pete has it.
And Pete has it. He wouldn't do a whole lot, but not the right idea. So he is thinking about Wex. Oh, I am not a fan of Wex. I'm really not.
Yeah, he's not gonna.
I do not like Wex unless he played Web and my screen is too laggy. But I think he played Wex. Yeah. Well, I'll go right back to my chair, all crotchety after the play. That's all good. It still gives nothing back to Pete. So we do, in fact, have a neck and neck game. If I've got things right, Pete is up 10 on turn, but has that unseen blank and 5 eyes. And with having just had the 4 eyes kind of in his mind from recently, he could be a little bit tilted by the fact that those are still out there.
And meanwhile, Kevin's drawn 2 vowels, so he might be able to. Or no, he drew 1 vowel, but he just has a nice looking rack. Like he has.
Well, it looks like he has in fact found what is, I didn't know this, the only bingo. Just immediately found biograph. It's like what biostatisticians do when they're plotting data. They make a biograph. I think you know that, but I guess you got away with that PhD.
I could have known that, yeah. So, and that's probably going to stay. That R that you didn't like, he left in space, but he drew the blank for himself. So it happened to work out. It just, just luckily.
Yeah.
But it's a great find. Wonderful find.
Kind of disappointing from Pete's perspective that no blank blank FFEY words. That could have been kind of an interesting opportunity.
That would be a great way to score some points on this board.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're Pete here, like, you can feel pretty confident that the only way that Kevin's going to bingo is through that R. I mean, yeah, you could bingo from the G, I suppose, but if you're Pete, do you play for only a few points and, milk every part of that 10-point lead you have and just keep things closed, crawl or whatever? Like, I don't know. Like, obviously, I've got too much info because I know what's going on to really give a.
Yeah, I think I'd probably play something like Faw or he's actually lining up Crawl. I'm kind of surprised. I mean, I guess if you really think you can hold on to this lead just by playing for 10 points, though, I mean, if you only play for 10 points, Kevin could just score. He could have had
score where.
That's cool. Yeah, I know. But
that's the thing. Like,
I just don't want to hold on to a 10-point lead with the like. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I guess so. There's no S's out. There's just a blank. I mean, there's like barely anywhere to score. You scored 20. It's like the max score, practically. He could have Gajo to the triple, and he takes the lead. Wow, I can't believe he's going to block this.
I mean, I think even just FAW, just like the leave is still dreadful. So you may as well like this crawl at least accomplishes a set goal. Too bad for Kevin. Beautiful, beautiful find.
Yeah. Well, it's going to keep this game a lot more entertaining and close. Just a nail biter.
Yeah. So Pete did pick up a couple of I's and an E. So this was actually a good good use of those I's to show up. Won't surprise me. I think we've seen this in the chat. Hobo, gobo, something coming down. Something to be said for gobo because you keep the pH has some good synergy. 2 ends left. There's a chance you go ahead and get an ing word. It's it's certainly a reasonable threat.
You
but
take
even
the
better
lead.
scoring points. Yeah, either way, you're gonna kind of have. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just taking the lead with any of those options. So it'll be a bit back and forth. I mean, there's just nowhere to score. I mean, Pete's probably going to. I would think he's probably. I don't know. He could play giver or something, or he's going to play at the top, and that's like almost fib. There's like we're running out of anywhere to score points.
Yeah. So the question is, can Pete stay ahead as Kevin keeps opening the board? I mean, again, like if you're Pete, what now? Like, do you keep trying to keep the board closed, but now you're essentially down a tempo? I mean, like, fib?
Well, yeah, you're like in a bit of a dogfight or something. Like to just, I mean, how many points can you score? I feel like fib's almost as good as you can do, really. You can play giver and I don't know, turnover for what? Like,
Wive is vaguely interesting.
Yeah, there's that R hook,
which Pete has.
And
there's what? Oh, there's one more R. I guess that's a little risky. Yeah. Or is that the last R? How do letters work?
R.
Oh, it's the last R. Are there any?
The last.
Oh, it's the last hook.
Other than the blank. And in fact, Kevin might have to consider using his blank for that spot but I actually kind of like that. I mean, if the only
it's a real threat. And it's not really that blockable, right? Like the V kind of like protects it. You play through the E, but there's not really that much that goes through the E, right?
And then you're giving hooks. I mean, yeah. So I'll be interested if he doesn't really have any words formed in his rack. So, if this is that time of the game where you might want to start considering looking at your tracking and seeing what's out there.
But he's going to have to do something soon because he's under 2 minutes.
Yeah.
He's at a minute 45 already with 12 in the bag or something. Like, oh boy. Oh boy. So he goes with Via. Trying to go for maximum good leave.
Yeah, I guess you can score with the F. You can play wife and do the same thing next turn.
Oh God, wifer. Is that I don't know. I don't know if that was a swipe at me because I've had that challenge off before.
I got confused. I knew that's not a word. I just got confused. Well, he drew a bingo, but not going to help.
Yeah.
I mean, he drew a 7 that's not playable, to be clear.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, not a ton for Kevin, but clearly has momentum on his side, you would think, at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he's sort of equalized with the tempi, and he could play, whatever he plays. He'll even if he doesn't play for that many points, he's kind of equalized with the blank. So if I had to, and with the time advantage, if I had to,
right, exactly.
If I had to bet on who would win, even though Pete has a great rack and is in the lead, I would think Kevin sort of has more than a fighter's chance.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if wife gets played, then Pish comes back, and Pete's probably in trouble. So I don't know. But if you're Kevin, you probably want to play pretty quickly.
Yeah. So even if you could debate HI, but I agree. Just make a play.
Yeah. So Kevin is keeping his tiny little lead with the blank. This should put him up by 6. You're scoring, 19 for that? It doesn't seem like he can find like a good enough. All right, Pete is going all in on the defense here. Well, this game is going to end in a hurry. This is going to be funny.
He did miss diff. Diff would have been a couple more points, but maybe he wanted to. Yeah, the defense. Maybe I guess, like to your point, maybe he wanted to block that G just in case.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know. Is his tracking right? If his tracking isn't even 100% correct, then you can see why he's, playing for defense quickly. He doesn't even know if Kevin has the blank. I don't think Kevin's made any. Honestly, from how the two of them have been playing, you'd think Pete has the blank.
It's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, maybe prior to if, but
yeah, I thought that J would be a big tile, but I earlier I thought, oh, you could score to that triple word where Gobo went, and now the J is like, if he draws an A, he has Ja or Ya and a crawl for a nice score, and that could make the difference. But otherwise, it's kind of just sitting there. Like,
yeah. Well, Injure was pointed out, which is interesting.
Oh, that's a great play. Or Jedi is, but Injure could definitely come up. So maybe he has more than I gave him credit for at first blush. 7-point game.
At this point, if you're Kevin, you want to make sure you leave yourself a little bit of time for the end game, because that's the biggest thing you have going for you is time. Time is still on his side, but not for much longer.
I probably would have just plopped down Whoop, which maybe isn't even a great play, but I think
you would have played. You would have played what?
Sorry, is that not like a singular of whoops? Am I thinking of the?
No, to whoops is to throw up, I think.
Yeah,
but it's a sticky S. Whoop, okay. WOP, whoop whoop.
I would have gotten my play challenge off the board then.
So you would have lost. Okay. Yeah.
Oh yes. Okay. Well, now that that's cleared up.
Yeah.
Interesting. He's tacking the I into that, or inserting the I into Agio instead of a go. But he has the case blank for plays with hooking the S.
But why not play at that point? Why not play? I guess Igapo, is that too risky with the J? I don't know.
Oh, maybe not. That's a good idea, I think. Oh, the bag's empty.
Yeah, bag's empty. He's only got 6. So according to me, Pete has 2 wins, and they both involve playing through the O. I've not iterated everything out, but Jotun and Jur both appear to win the game. He does, in fact, have Jur spelled out. So if he does, in fact, play that, he's going to have to play something quickly. I haven't gone all the way out, but Jotun looks like it's very safe. And
oh wow, there he goes. Wow, he
ooh,
found it.
he found
That
it,
is,
but it's gonna be very. So he has to know that he has intel. Intel becomes his winning play if Kevin blocks Twine. That's what
well,
this comes down to.
he has it set up.
Wow, that's beautiful. If he found Intel and Twine and Jur in 30 seconds, that is a hell of an end game.
That's really impressive. That is really
good job.
Incredible. Yeah.
Ironically, Jotun is just a better version of that. I think Riel Wire probably a better second outplay. But wow, he's got it upside down, all ready to go. I mean, that's the thing. Pete plays slow, but the dude's also a great blitz player. Like he keeps up with me and Dave playing the blitz games.
Ah, that's interesting.
Like Pete's assuming he's not even going to get Twine down. Either that or he missed it. I can't imagine he missed it.
6 seconds might be enough right side up, but I guess it's a close call. You want to keep him.
Yeah, and also like where he's sitting, it's a very friendly place. A horizontal play upside down works pretty nicely. Yeah. We did have a game earlier today where Chris Grubb made an outplay of Ocarina, but played Ocarani instead. All right, so here we go. Jorn.
Has that been challenged? Yeah, that's immediately challenged, and Jorno is a sticky O, so or Jorno, so that'll come off, and Pete will have Pete could go overtime if he wants, and he's going to win this game. A really close game, and that crawl play was really if I'm getting a bit ahead of myself in the post-mortem, but that was really the winning play, blocking Biograph. He didn't see Twine, actually, interestingly enough, but it doesn't matter because any out in two or any clever out in two like he found is going to make the winning difference. So I think a final score of 434-406, if I'm not mistaken. What a game. It's definitely the most competitive game we've seen in the the closest game we've seen in the afternoon session. 14 Domino in the chat pointing out that you got to try something. It's an unwinnable end game, and so you might as well try Jern. And Kevin might be feeling bad, but he might not realize this. Like Muffin with Tentacle says, it's unwinnable. So you got to just what a game! Really a wonderful game. Body side, a great find. Pete took the chance to hook the S